Well, I've already recorded this once. I guess we're gonna do it again because I didn't hit record. Therefore, I haven't recorded it once. But so she goes. How you guys doing? It's been a while since we've kind of sat down and had a chat, so I figured that's what we do here. After about 2 years, I finally have a new job. For those of you who followed the channel for any length of time, you've probably seen my struggles with getting hired by the local school system. I applied over 24 times, got nothing in return, despite going to job fairs and a handful of interviews, and basically was thrown to the curb, and even got in touch with the head of the HR department for the district, had a conversation with him, and literally months later, they got back to me, wanted me to work a split shift for less money than I had been making at the time, with not an age group that I had applied to work with. So that was a very good way for them to tell me that they did not want to work with me, and quite honestly, the feeling was pretty mutual at that point. I suppose we can tell the whole story. But I moved here about 3 years ago to Minnesota, and started working at the YMCA for $12 an hour during COVID, and that was a way to kind of get some work, and I really didn't think I would ever be interested in working in the education field and in being a teacher in any capacity. But during that time, I really fell in love with some of the kids that I worked with, and realized that it was something I might enjoy doing it in some form or fashion. And we lost our jobs in March of 2021 when the kids went back to school. Our program kind of got shut down, and I applied at the local school system at the time. I reached out to a couple smaller, like Montessori type schools, things like that. And then kind of as a last resort, I was applying to a couple preschools. That's when I got hired by the child care center that I worked at for a while. And I worked there for about 6 or 7 months. I made about $13.50 there. And there I was, an assistant teacher with preschoolers. And I was okay. I had to leave because in the fall, the transition with the new group of kids we got was really rough, and there wasn't a lot of support in terms of like learning how to cope with these things, how to deal with things, and it was just rough. I was running into some transportation issues as well. And so that's when I worked at a pizza place for about 6 months. And then I ended up actually back at that same center in the same job. From there, I worked there about another year and some change. That takes us to June of this year. And that job, I can talk about that more at some other point, but it just started to become way too much for a multitude of reasons. The work I was doing for the same paycheck got to be more and more stressful. There was some issues with the way things were put together there, and I tried to kind of bring those to the attention of the appropriate people, and was not met with a response that was helpful. And that really kicked me into looking for something else, and I did for months and months. Again, trying to apply to some more schools, and even started looking at some religious schools. I'm not a very religious person, but it is where I had been as I was just trying to find something else. And I was hired by the Boys and Girls Club. I had thrown a hat, in the ring there just for fun, almost, and I just figured nothing of it, and went in for an interview. I've been working there now. I was offered the job on the spot, and I make $18 an hour there. At the other child care center, I had managed to work my way up to $15 an hour, teaching music and doing all sorts of other things, but like I said, for the work I was doing, the pay that I was getting was, it didn't balance out, we'll put it that way. And so with the Boys and Girls Club now, I make $18 an hour, and I'm only working part-time, but I'm making almost the same amount of money I had been before. And now we have this second new job, well, I suppose, if you don't know about the Boys and Girls Club part of it. And the new job is, as of this week, I am going to be a paraprofessional at a small private school that specializes in arts and sciences. They're a baccalaureate school, which is something I'm not very familiar with. It's a very much a wealthier environment than anything that I've ever worked in or been a part of, for the most part. And so that will be a difference for me. But the age group is one that I have worked with before and have some confidence and experience in working with the littles. And at Boys and Girls Club, I will probably be working with I think it's like 3rd and 4th or 4th and 5th graders is kind of the classroom that I'm hoping to get my way into for the school year. And I'm excited about it. To have someone finally be willing to take that chance, and for that to actually have happened twice within a couple of months, and for that to feel actually beneficial rather than just me taking a job to take a job, or kind of being stuck, it is just, it feels great. I know it's going to be really busy because I'm going to work 2 jobs, so I'm going to work 8 hours with the littles, and then I'm going to go work another 4 at Boys and Girls Club, and that's going to be a handful. It's been a while since I've done 2 jobs, but Boys and Girls Club is something I really have become passionate about this summer. They are great kids. The programming that's run there is fantastic. The staff that I have worked with this summer have all been extraordinarily supportive, and those were all things that I don't feel like were always true at the other center. We had great kids, but the back end of things was not pretty. And to work somewhere that changes that is a big deal. And so now to be offered a position in an age group I'm comfortable with, for a wage that I am comfortable with, and with benefits and things like that, that look pretty good, at least in the initial, I haven't done the official onboarding yet, but we're getting there. All that is good, and I'm excited to start new things, and I will keep you guys updated, but wanted to fill you in because this has been a long time coming, and it's been a rough road, but I'm hoping that now I'll be in a little bit of a better spot, and I appreciate you guys being along for the journey, so thank you for sticking this one out. If you liked it, hit any of the buttons you'd like down there. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, queries, ideas, or anything else, please don't hesitate to put those in the comments down below. And we'll be back for some more baseball, more fun things, and all sorts of things down the road here, so thanks for checking this one out. We'll see you soon. Peace.